how do you
Says he
find
knows.
like how do we determine which we are to actually improve upon ourselves? Like how do we like I thought I was intrinsic until Talon just totally shit on me and told me I'm extrinsic. So maybe I am. You know, like how like does it take a friend to like an outside point of view to point it out to you, or like can you find it yourself and like can you identify which you are?
I think you can find it. I think you have to look at the decisions that you've made in the past and look at why you made those decisions. So like my like one of my biggest regrets, honestly, and I'm not shitting on going to college at all, but I think my biggest regrets was going to college. But I did that from an extrinsic motivation because everybody told me, if you want to make it, you have to go to college. You have to go to college. You have to go get extra schooling. And I think just because of my nature, like I would say with fair certainty that overall baseline, I am an intrinsically motivated person. And typically speaking, and again, this is based on studies that I read, intrinsically motivated people don't do as well with like the school kind of environment. And I didn't do well with the school environment. And I don't think that's because I'm not smart and I couldn't handle it. I think it's just because that's not kind of like how my personality flows. Like I don't really like to fuck you, Chris. I see you.
Just looking at his face.
No, but seriously, I think I'm very smart, but I think at the same time, I just don't fuck you. I just don't think that's how like my brain works in like the kind of school setting. And I don't think it was a good decision for me. And I made a poor decision based on like extrinsic motivation, like a poor source of motivation, where I think if I had kind of listened to my intrinsic motivations, which are really what tend to drive me more, I could have made a better decision and found a better route for myself.
All joking aside, yeah, I was making fun of you, but like for real though, that's a very good point. Like look at Elon. He didn't go to college, did he?
He's a
Bill Gates
dropout? Question mark?
Yeah,
Nope.
whatever. But he always talks about like college is a waste of money.
Yeah.
And for some it is, for some it's not.
Depending.
For some that is
Right.
that is the step you need to take to get into the job you want. But
Right, exactly.
there's so many that you don't need that as well.
Mhm.
So that's a good point, Randy. Yeah, I could see that because you definitely didn't want to go to school. Like you just weren't motivated, and like as your friend, I could see that. And like I guess you were motivated for baseball. But
yeah, that was kind of it.
yeah, other than that, like you didn't want to be there. You were just told, "This is what's expected of me, so this is what I'm gonna do."
It was society, was that external factor right there
Exactly.
telling you that that's what you should do.
Well, so after my last year at NJIT, before I transferred and changed my major, I came and visited you.
Mhm.
Remember that? And like I think you could tell there was like a total like switch in my attitude, because like I think I finally knew like I was making more of a right. Now again, if I really like thought back, like knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have even gone back to school, or not gone to school in the first place. But I think just because like it was more my decision to make, I think I was a lot happier with that decision.
Yeah, for sure. I can see you're definitely intrinsic. I can't think of an example where you are extrinsic.
I mean, you just said it's
There's
woodworking.
times like I said, like with a lot of the woodworking stuff, I can be at work. I can be, because I very much do like what Talon was talking about, where like if I'm working my ass off and I get no recognition for it, I'm like, all right, well then I'm not going to work my ass off anymore, because why am I going to do extra work if I'm not going to get more pay or better benefits or whatever? Like
At least
that's a very extrinsic, but that rolls back to your point where it's like hobbies versus work. Like at work, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing it to make money, which is extrinsic in nature. So it's kind of like if I'm doing that, if I'm doing extra work and I'm not getting anything for it, then I'm not going to do extra work.
Right.
Plain and simple.
I think that's a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's a purely extrinsic view, but that's also extrinsic situationally. And that's where a point I kind of made before, where it's like I think it is very situational.
Yeah. That's why I think when Talon said the people who enjoy their work, like that's almost entrepreneurship spirit, right? Like
Yeah.
they're so like they motivate themselves. They can do whatever they want because they love what they do and they're motivated
Right.
from within. So they're going to be super successful because that's what they want to do and that's what they enjoy.
I don't even think success has to be
No,
like
it
the
doesn't.
reason. I think
No.
for a lot of careers, something like if you make something. So like I don't know, like if like Randy worked for like an actual like major like woodworking company or something like that, if he had pride in what he made, guess what? It's intrinsic right there because he's not going to put something crappy together because he's the one that's building this thing. He's going to put his pride into it.
Right.
That's going to be intrinsic right there. So I think it really depends on what you do as a career too is what could motivate you.
Yeah, my goal
And
is
it's funny you say that, Talon, because I do that. Like if there's any kind of like minor imperfection on something I made, I point it out.
Yeah.
And people are like, I would have never noticed that if you didn't show me. It's like, yeah, well, I know it's there.
Yeah, you're the one that made it. Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
the lifelong goal for me at least is to do that, is to find a career where I'm intrinsically motivated like 100%.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this clip and want to see more, click the link below or head over to our channel, like, subscribe, and make sure to hit that bell icon so you can stay up to date on the most current lessons learned content. See ya!